This is Cooking with Dave and Audie. I'm Dave, that's Audie. Today we're making Father's Day supper. Today we're doing a really exciting dish. We're doing it for Father's Day. Everybody's father, I'm sure just like mine and Audie's, loves a steak for Father's Day. So we got a beautiful, like 12-ounce ribeye. We're gonna sear up, baste with some butter, throw in some oregano and garlic, make it super tasty. As veg, we have some green beans or some haricot vert. We're gonna do that up with some garlic. And for the starch, we have some corn. We're gonna do that up with some scallion and some tarragon, one of my favorite ways to eat corn. It's very, very easy. It takes about 20-30 minutes in the kitchen. Here's how we're gonna go. Take a look here, Audie. Beautiful, delicious prime ribeye. A couple sticks of oregano we're gonna throw in the pan with some crushed garlic there. Our green beans there with some chopped garlic, that's going all together. And then our corn with some scallions and some tarragon. There's a few things to know about these the green beans. Most of the time they come with the little stems on. You need to trim that off. You don't really want to eat that. It's not gonna hurt you unless you choke on it, but not very good to eat. And then sometimes there's little ugly spots and we just trim that off. I've got the rest of those trimmed up. That's good to go. Fresh corn. Beautiful time of year for fresh corn. The yellow corn is sweet and succulent and delicious. There's lots of ways to peel it. Most people just go from the top and pull it all off in big chunks. I like to start at the bottom and cut through, and you need to actually hit the corn. So I can see I've hit the corn there. See? Mm-hmm. And then you get your finger up underneath most of that, and you can peel it off in big old chunks. Corn on the cob is good. Not one of my favorite things. It's kind of hard to eat, gets stuck in your teeth. If you're eating everything else with a knife and fork, but you have to pick this up and eat it with your fingers, it's not very polite. So I like to take my corn off of the cob. There are lots of ways to do this. I'll show you the easy way. Now, some people get really picky about it, and they don't want any of the corn kernels broken up, so they have little tools you go down in strips. Way too much effort. I nip the tip at the top there, just a little bit off the top. Stand it up on the board, fingers on top, and then carefully with a knife, right against the cob itself, just cut off the corn from all the cob. It does make a mess. Some people like do this over a bowl and stuff like that. It's not that big a deal. I just kind of put up with the mess. So your corn cob here, great flavor, not really edible. You save this, throw it in your freezer. Next time you make soup or stew or stock, throw it in there. It's extra flavor. No need to waste it. We like to talk a lot about not wasting food. I think that's important. It really means something to me. We got two pans. We're doing three things, but we'll do it in two pans. We're going to turn everything up on high. We're going to cook as high heat as possible. First thing we need to get started is our steak. This is a nice, juicy, fatty, succulent, rich, and delicious prime ribeye. We want it to be as delicious as possible when we're done. One of the tricks to doing this properly is to pull your meat out, let it rest on the counter for 30-45 minutes. You want it to come up to sort of room temperature. You don't want it to be cold when it goes into the pan. And that's for the purposes of even cooking. We want to season this. Good bit of salt and pepper. Now I know my pops, he loves the black pepper on his meat, so I always do a little bit extra than what might be sort of normal. And then all the extra seasoning on the plate, we pick it up with sort of the edges of the meat. That way everything's nicely seasoned. We're gonna need a little bit of oil. And we're cooking at a very high temperature here. So you need a high temp oil. I use peanut oil. I understand it's a common allergy. Some people just can't use it. If you can't use peanut oil, canola is probably my next best bet. But some kind of high temp oil, vegetable oil, cheap vegetable oil will work if that's all you got. See the smoke coming off of that? It's time to go. Now, laying things in a pan. Always lay away from yourself. So start on the side that you're on, and then lay it towards the other side of the pan. You always want to use whatever that thickest, heaviest pan you have. That's going to hold the most heat. It's going to give you the best sear and that kind of stuff. But this won't take long to start browning up. Now traditional cooking says slap it in the pan, leave it there 3 or 4 minutes, turn it over one time. Not the best way to do a steak. We want to turn this over every 20, 30, 45 seconds, a few times. So we're not working so much heat to the inside of the steak. We're really working on the sear rather than cooking the steak internally. So I'm going to spend a few minutes here turning this over. Alright, let's get the green beans started. We got a pan hot over here. Nice couple chunks of butter there. Yours. Now's a good time to do our herb. We're going to throw that right in the oil. And our garlic, we're going to throw that right in the oil. That's going to flavor the oil that we continue to cook the steak with. Look at that sear, baby. Now this is kind of a chefy thing here, but it's worth the time and effort. Get some of that oil, flavored with garlic and oregano, baste it over the top. It's sort of flavoring everything with that garlic and herb. Also contributing to a nice brown sear on there. You see it bubbling and sizzling. Baby. Oh, baby. Alright, that's ready to go in the oven. Slap her in the oven. And that will not take long to cook, so we need to remember we got that down there cooking. Move this pan over to the big burner. We got some chopped garlic. That's how we start our green beans, in the butter. Once that starts sizzling a little bit, we're going to throw in our green beans. You've got to be really careful when you're doing this with garlic. If you turn your back for 20 seconds, that shit will burn big time. And it tastes terrible. But if you let it toast a little bit, just brown a little bit instead of burn, delicious, delicious flavor. We're good to go here. Green beans go in. This might be a decent time, Audie, to talk about microwaves. So, you've probably noticed there's no microwave in this kitchen. It's not a great tool for cooking, but it's an awesome tool for certain things. One of those things is steaming vegetables. You take your green beans like this, your garlic, a little knob of butter, throw it in a bag, like a Ziploc bag, in the microwave, 2 minutes on high till everything's steaming. It's done. You can't really get better than that unless you want to brown it up in a pan a little bit. That's what I would do here, except I just don't want a microwave. These don't need to cook long. You basically want them warm all the way through, maybe a little brownness on them. Oh, Jesus. Spilling shit everywhere. You can see our garlic's catching some color. The green beans are probably hot by now. And all that delicious garlic butter on top of there. Pan back on the heat. One more good knob of butter. Our scallions, the white part of the scallions, in. Onions are soft already. We go in with the corn. Give that an old toss. Season. Salt. Pepper. We'll let that saute up for a second. In the meantime, we'll pull out our steak. Have a look at that beauty. Get it out of the hot pan. Let's throw our garlic on top of there. Throw our herbs on top of there. I'm going to put that to the side, let it rest. We're just going to finish this corn with a little bit of the oil that we cooked the steak in. Turn off the burner. And we finish with some tarragon. Tarragon's kind of a sweet herb. Has a slight flavor of licorice, very slight flavor of licorice. Goes great with anything that has a bit of sweetness to it. Tomatoes, goes great with corn, that kind of stuff. Carrots, fantastic. But you don't want to cook it too much. We just want to let it heat through. But we are done, sir. I forgot to season the old green beans. There we go. Audie, tell them how awesome it smells in here.
It smells fantastic. And I'm telling you, if you made this for your dad for Father's Day, he would be quite pleased.
So I think we're going to start with a little bit of corn on the bottom. A bigger plate would be nice. But we'll make do with what we got here. Take a few of our green beans with the nice toasted garlic here. Give them a little toss. And I like to stack them up sort of evenly, sort of neat, and they're not sticking out every which way. I think it just has a better sort of visual impact that way. Bit of our garlic right on top of there, you know what I'm saying? Man, Audie! It's been resting a few minutes at this point. The best part, my favorite part, is this part here, the decal. So I'm going to take a couple slices from around that area. Kind of do like this. See that beautiful red, nice medium rare meat there? Have a bite of that, my son.
I will.
Pretty fantastic.
Yeah.
Seasoned nicely. Mm-hmm. Nice and red.
And it's got an incredible texture from that crust.
A nice sort of crunch to it on the outside. A little sprinkle of green onion on there. Now I'm picky about garnish. If there are no onions in your dish, onions don't belong as a garnish. And then the very last thing here, we're just going to take a little bit of that roasting juice, all the drippings, sort of lube everything up a little bit there. Melt in your mouth. Medium rare ribeye. Some nice delicious green beans and garlic, some corn and tarragon. Get a piece of the decal here. It's my favorite bit. Okay, seasoned perfectly. Nicely seared on the outside, got a nice little crunch on the surface of the meat. Nice and pink, or red and juicy on the inside. The corn is sweet. It's rich with the butter we put into it. It's fresh from the onions and the tarragon that we put into it. And both of those fit nicely with the meat itself. Little green bean. Still got a bit of crunch to it. It's not like mushy. Taste of garlic, rich with butter. If I were a dad, maybe sometime soon I will be, and somebody made this for supper, I wouldn't forget it for a long time. That is a proper delicious meal. Audie, you want to take a few bites?
I am a dad, so if anyone wants to make this for me,
All right, you'll be the judge then.
you let me know. No, I can already tell you because I've already got to sneak some of that. It's amazing when you get fresh green beans, the texture you get from it, and you're absolutely right, the garlic comes all the way through.
Oh yeah.
So tasty. A little bit of this corn.
That's one of my favorite ways to have corn there.
You've been doing this corn preparation with the tarragon and butter for a little bit now. I think it might be my favorite way to have corn. It's definitely my favorite way to have tarragon. It's
It
so
really
tasty.
works. It really works.
A little bit of this. extra
Have a bite of that juicy meat
Look
there.
at that. That is so
Hang on, let me get in there.
Listen, that's what every dad wants. A little bit of meat, starch, good veg, prepared by somebody who loves them.
This is Cooking with Dave and Audie. I'm Dave. That's Audie. That's how you do a dinner for your father for Father's Day. If you like our stuff, subscribe to our channel. Put a like on your favorite videos. Leave us a comment. Tell us what you want to see. Tell us what you liked and what you didn't like, because it gets us better at what we're doing.
Yeah.
We appreciate you taking the time to join us. We know you're busy. Have an awesome day.
Happy Father's Day!
Happy Father's Day.